Hello Reciters, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm talking about America, I'm talking about Trump, and I'm talking about Africa. And I'm asking the question, is the American dream over for Africans? Or here's another question, should I cancel America from my travel bucket list? So that is what I'm asking. I mean, before I start, I have a confession to make. I've always been fascinated by America. And one of the reasons is because when I was growing up, I watched a lot of American TV. I was addicted to those soaps. Dallas, Dynasty, what is the other one? What is the other one? Oh, the Colbys, Santa Barbara. And I remember being addicted to the $6 Million Man. Oh my goodness, Lee Majors. I love that man. Yes, so I grew up watching a lot of American TV. I also watched British TV as well, but I was leaning more towards America. So that's when my fascination started. And then fast forward to more recent years, I actually had the opportunity to visit America. I went for a church conference. I went to a town. It was I can't remember the place right now, but I'll put the name of it on the screen later on when I edit this video. So after the conference, it was a 1-week conference. So after that conference, I said, you know what, before I go back to England, let me just explore. Let me go somewhere and have a look. So I decided to go to Dallas. So I went to Dallas, Texas. So when I went to Dallas, I said, you know what, there is no way I'm going back to the United Kingdom without visiting the set, the place where they shot Dallas, you know, where they made the film, South Fork Range. So I actually went there, and yeah, it was the highlight of my visit when I went to America. And I also visited the Dealey Plaza. I had to see where JF Kennedy was shot. So I actually did a tour and I listened to the story, and that was the first time of me like hearing the full story. Of course, I knew about JF Kennedy, how he was assassinated, but I didn't know the full story. So when I went to Dallas, that's when I learned of the full story, and I got fascinated. I know it is kind of weird for me to say that because, you know, a person got shot. But then again, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I confess, I like a good conspiracy. So yeah, I enjoyed that tour, and I actually went to see the place where Lee Harvey Oswald actually lived. So yeah, that was a fascinating tour. And also, I got to be called ma'am for the first time. Those cowboys, when I saw them up close, they were like, yes, ma'am. How are you doing, ma'am? I was like, ooh. Yeah, it was a good experience, I have to say. And I also said, you know what? I must come back to America. When I have enough money for me to actually enjoy traveling, I must come back to America. So I put America on my travel bucket list. But now, with everything that is going on in America right now, with what Donald Trump said recently about Africa and all that, I'm wondering, does it mean that I now have to remove America from my travel bucket list? Because now, can I go to America with confidence? Is that what it means? Or am I just overthinking this? What do you think? What are your thoughts? So yeah, this is my reaction to everything that is happening in America. And we know that a lot has happened since Trump came into power. He came out quite recently suggesting cutting aid to Africa and other countries. And I also made a video reacting to that. Excuse me. And my reaction was, this is the opportunity that Africa needs to actually step up its game and stand on its own 2 feet, rather than getting scared whenever a country or another country threatens to cut aid. And from what I'm getting, a lot of Africans see this as an opportunity to actually step up, to come to a point where we do our own things and we stop relying on other people to rescue us.
We have depended on US aid for over 60 years, and the moment the owners of the money say, let's take a 90-day pause that I audit where my money is going, suddenly the whole country goes into a frenzy. And this should be a moment of reflection for Uganda and the African continent in general.
While there are some Africans who are worried, but the loudest voice that I'm hearing is that of Africans seeing this as a wake-up call, as an opportunity to actually step up our game. And most Africans, especially the younger generation, are calling out their leaders. They want certain things to stop in Africa. One of those is corruption. They want Africa to take responsibility for its own failures. It is time. So, yeah, looking at this whole Trump situation, what I can say is, I don't know how you see it, but the way I see it, Trump is actually, that's why I said in the other video that Trump is the evil that Africa needs, meaning that a necessary evil. It's a metaphor. I wasn't actually insulting Trump. I'm actually saying Trump is a necessary evil for Africa. It is the wake-up call that we need to actually stand up and think and regain our dignity. Because right now, the way I see it, it is not dignified. Of course, we all need help. Countries need each other. That one is a given. But when it comes to aid, relying on foreign aid to give your people medication, come on. And also recently, Trump made some remarks about South Africa.
It's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa.
And South Africans have now come out, guns blazing, defending their country.
South Africa is our land. South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump.
It's a hot day in South Africa, and Donald Trump has just come on air to say that he has seen the terrible things going on in South Africa. I live here, and I haven't really seen the terrible things he speaks about.
Both black and white, everyone, they are out there defending their country. They are saying, you know what, Mr. Trump, you're way out of line. You're out of order. This is not what is happening in our country. And I'm thinking, is this backfiring on Mr. Trump now? Is this backfiring? What kind of reaction did Donald Trump expect from Africans? Did he expect Africans to cower into a corner, shaking, quivering, crying, thinking, what are we going to do now that America is threatening to cut off aid? What are we going to do now that America is deporting a lot of Africans? What are we going to do now? Because deportations is another campaign that Donald Trump kickstarted the moment he entered office. He started deporting illegal immigrants. Yes, I know I've been corrected in the comment section when I made the other video to say it is illegal immigrants. Fair enough. If someone no longer has the right to be in the country, of course, it is what it is. But that video, when I made it, I was talking about compassion, treating people, even though they are illegal, but treating them with dignity, with compassion. There's nothing wrong with that. We all, life is hard for everyone. And just because someone is illegal or someone deserves to be deported, it doesn't mean that they stop being human beings. It doesn't mean that. So, yeah. This is another situation as well that is unfolding in America. And I'm thinking, is the American dream now over for Africans? I'm wondering, does it mean that gone are the days when Africans could dream of going to America to start a brand new life, to partake in that American dream? Is that what it means because of what is unfolding before us? Because also recently, Donald Trump said that citizenship, birthright citizenship was only meant for descendants of slaves, not immigrants. So does it mean that that American dream is now a thing of the past? Is this the end? Because clearly America is now putting stricter immigration policies in place. The same thing that is happening in this country, in the United Kingdom. Does it mean that Africans are now going to start to look to other countries like Canada, Australia, other countries in Europe? Is that what it means? Or should we be stopping and looking within, like really looking at ourselves as Africans and thinking, you know what? Now is the time to demand change in Africa. Now is the time to stand up, to build Africa. Because as it stands, the way I'm looking at things, it appears to me that Africans are running from one country to the next. All we are doing as Africans is running away. We are saying, if this country doesn't want us anymore, where is the next destination? That is all we are doing. We are not really focusing on ourselves, on fixing our problems. Because like I always say, my dream is for Africans to relocate because they want to, not because they are being forced by circumstances, not because we are running away, but to simply make the decision to say, you know what, I want to go to America, I want to go to the United Kingdom, I want to go to Canada, just because. But that is not why we are moving, myself included. I'm one of those people who skipped Zimbabwe, so I include myself in this. But what I'm saying is, now is the time for us to start having different conversations, because change starts with our mindset. It starts with us shifting the way we look at ourselves, the way we think, shifting our focus to the right things. And that starts with here and the things we spend time talking about. And that is like the first step. And then we take action. So like I said in my other video, Africa doesn't need pity. It needs action. It needs its people, because we have a lot of wealth in Africa. Africa is the richest continent. Fact. The world actually needs Africa, not the other way around. It is time for us to get our act together.